Sir.
What's good, everybody? This is the Lunch Table Podcast. My name is Aaron.
It's Biden.
And my name is Nate.
And this is episode 2. Now, what's good with you guys, man? Obviously, today it's been a lot going on in the past week. So I want to first start by talking about the biggest elephant in the room, and that is Washington changing their team, bro.
Hey,
That's a big deal.
How
y'all feel about it?
Like, I really wasn't expecting it. Like, it came, like, out the blue at the last minute. I was like, wow.
Talk about a power move by Nike, bro. Like,
yeah, that was a big move.
That's a
Forget
power
about FedEx.
Move. Hey, bro. FedEx and Nike, man. They was on their asses, man. They was on them, man.
It was all about the investors at the end of the day. If it wasn't for the investors, who knows what would have happened? They probably
the
would have
investors are the owners of the company. You know that, right?
Yeah, no. Lost so much money if they didn't
So
fall through.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how that really changed. Like, I can understand if you say the people outside, but the investors are the owner of the company. So it's I don't understand your reasoning behind that.
I'm saying the people that have invested in the FedEx, invested in the Nike, they're not necessarily the actual like owner of the team. They have some stock in the company, but if they didn't say anything about the name, then who knows? They probably would have still done business with Washington at the end of the day because nobody was holding them accountable.
I think people were holding them accountable. It's just due to coronavirus.
People who have like billions of dollars is what I'm talking about. Not the regular folks like us or the Native Americans who have been protesting for like 30, 40 years trying to change the name. I'm not talking about them.
I've seen that Native Americans aren't actually offended, but I don't know if that's true. But I've just seen like hearsay all over the internet.
It's a mix like reaction. At the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. If one person, feels offended, then, hey, that's just enough. And at the end of the day, it's a racial slur, and it's been, in existence for too long now. And I'm glad that they are about to change the name. And I'm wondering what name they should change it to. What suggestions do you guys have?
I don't have. I've been hearing the Warriors a lot.
My favorite one that I came across was the Washington Commanders. Because it still has like a Native American thing, but it's more powerful and
I like that
respectful.
one.
Yeah.
Washington Commanders, that sounds like that's dope because it's not like one of them corny like Washington Pigs or anything like that or Washington Crabs, Commanders. It's like
Washington Crabs would be cool, but that would be a Maryland thing.
But like Washington Commanders, that sounds dope because as a commander, you're like at a high-ranking position and people look up to you with respect and all that. Like, I think that's a dope-ass name, honestly. That's the first time I've heard of that, really.
Big facts.
Somebody...
You was about to say something?
I was about to say, somebody suggested, like, Washington Red Hawks. Actually, that's not a bad name. Washington Red Tails, obviously Washington Warriors. I was talking to somebody, and I was joking, and I mentioned Washington Carvers, what I mean? Go from if you know who George Washington Carver is, but that was just me joking around and stuff.
Hey, like way back, there was a rumor that the Redskins were already changing their name to the Red Hawks. That was just rumor.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for years.
Yo, I heard the Washington Generals that be facing, the Globetrotters.
Oh, yeah.
Losing all the time. I heard that they would
permission.
offer their name, to the Washington football team, but obviously they're going to have to pay for it. But they're willing, to give them the name.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want them to be the Washington Generals because then, it's just like Washington Generals never win, so it would look kind of funny. It would look kind of weird if their name is Washington Generals. Everybody would make the team.
That makes sense because Redskins never win either. So they've been going for 2 years.
But Commanders that might be putting some good juju on the team. You feel me?
But yeah, I mess with Washington Commanders. That's probably Hey, I'm down with that name, honestly.
Like if they let us do a poll and that gets like put in the ballot, then I'm definitely voting for that.
I'd rather the Warriors, man.
I like the Warriors too.
I think the Warriors, exhibit. I think it exhibit Washington more, and I think we don't have to do as much as changing their jerseys and stuff like that.
My thing is, they have the Chiefs. I mean, hey, go Commander, go Warrior. Either way, I'm fine with it. As long as it's not a racial slur, as long as it's not offending anybody, any Native Americans, I'm down with it at the end of the day.
All right.
Okay, so I guess we touched on that topic. So let's get to the craziest topic of them all, and that's not even new, really. It's Kanye West for president. Kanye West has officially put himself in the presidential election. Now, he's been talking about this since, maybe 2014, 2015, 2016. So it's been a while, and now he has officially declared himself in the presidential election. How do you guys feel about Kanye West declaring himself in the presidential election?
Like, I remember way back on Twitter, he said that he wasn't going to run 2020. He was going to do 2024 instead. But now he's back on 2020. And as much as I like to vote for him because I'm a Kanye stan, I do feel like it would get in the way of Joe Biden getting more votes over Trump. Because now votes are being split 3 ways.
I'm not. Maybe I'm just stupid or something like that. How would it get in the way of Joe Biden if he's a Republican?
Because they're going
to go ahead. I want you
to be honest,
talk about it because he's asking you a question.
And to be honest, I don't really think much of it. I think it's a joke. I mean, until he actually says something that pertains to the United States or anything like that in terms of what is he going to do in office, I take it as a joke, honestly. I don't take it seriously.
Well, he's hinted in interviews what plans he has. He's going to make affordable clothing for many people, things of that nature.
How does that benefit the United States?
I mean, well, he hasn't touched on that yet, but I'm telling you, he's been.
And that's what I'm talking about. The man has no platforms. The man has no platform of what to do with the United States, so you can't take it serious. What's the point? I mean, you can't take it serious, honestly.
I mean, that's just such a sharp way to come for him, though, because he hasn't really said anything yet about what he's going to do for the United States. But I expect in the future days coming that he's going to say something about that.
I mean, the man has said nothing about the issues within the United States. I mean, at least we know Joe Biden says, right? We have some sort of idea what Trump says, even though he hasn't done much in office to begin with. But what does Kanye want to do? What is his platform? Do we even know what party he's running for?
Republican.
If he's running for Republican.
Well, he hasn't expressed that he's Republican.
I don't even think he can run for Republican because the primaries is already over and stuff. So he has to run third party.
But we don't even know what party he's running for. This his fourth is why I'm saying it's a joke. You can't take it serious. I mean, at least with Donald Trump, man's had a party.
So it's another Joe Exotic, is what you telling me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like voting for Harambe.
You know what? I wouldn't disrespect him as far as Joe Exotic because Joe Exotic didn't know what he was doing. I'm not gonna because Joe Exotic he had no issues on platform. Maybe Kanye West does have an issue, but all I'm saying is at the moment you can't take it serious.
You think
one thing
even if he is serious about this, I highly doubt he's ever going to get that many votes.
I'll say this though. I believe Kanye West would do more for Black people than Joe Biden or Donald Trump would.
Biggie facts.
So in that respect, I mean, I wouldn't vote for him, and I feel like it's problematic if he is in the election because it is taking away some votes for Joe Biden, giving Donald Trump more of an advantage because I don't think at the end of the day, I don't think Kanye West is he's going to look at it from a national level and not from a diplomatic level as well, because being the president just doesn't mean, you know, focusing on like Black communities and United States itself. You have to look at it globally also, and I think that he's not going to look at it in that respect as well. Like, for instance, trading with China, like what is he going to do in that situation? You know, just little things like that comes with being president. That's what I'm looking at when it comes to Kanye West, and why I wouldn't vote for him necessarily, even though he would do, you know, probably a lot of good for the Black community.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my vote for Kanye until next term, because he most likely will like run next term if he doesn't win this one. So I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden now, vote for Kanye next, because he's gonna have like ample enough time to figure out what he wants to do for America. Like, he has like really good ideas in general about the little guy. So
what ideas does he have?
I mean, it's in an article. I can't quote verbatim because I read it like a little while ago, but maybe I can find the article and send it to you.
At the end of the day, I think he'll do, you know, stuff for Black community, especially since he's from Chicago and he's giving back to impoverished communities, you know, in the past. And I'm not going to say that I trust Joe Biden or Donald Trump, but I just believe at the end of the day that you have to look at the whole landscape of everything. You can't just look at, you know, a certain population, even though I would love for Joe Biden and Donald Trump to like really focus on the Black community, but you have to also look at you know, the globe as a whole as well. So
I get what you're saying, but you really think Kanye West has a chance?
No, he does not have a chance.
You really think Kanye West really has it?
That's not the question, though. That's not the problem at hand.
To say he doesn't have a chance.
Nate, I did not just hear you say you would save your vote for Kanye West.
I'm going to save it next term. I said next term.
2024. Why would you ever vote Kanye West? Why would you ever vote Kanye? Like, you know what? I can understand if Kanye.
Why would I not?
Was like,
oh my
God. Hey, Kanye has no political experience. Man has no political experience. Just because we see Donald Trump in office, which he's done terrible.
Exactly.
He's done terrible. And I mean, bro, I can understand if Kanye was like a mayor of Chicago. Okay, if he did some positive stuff there, I can understand that, right? I can understand if he even if he was the governor, you know, at least he has some sort of experience. Kanye West doesn't have experience. He hasn't said anything about a platform. And I mean, I think if he was serious about this, honestly, bro, he should have did this like 2018. At least he should have did this like last year, 2019.
I think like when he said that he wasn't going to run for president 2020, he should have instead like ran for governor in Chicago or something to get him like ready for that kind of life.
Yeah, that's what I just said. He should what he should do. He should run for Chicago. I mean, if he can do positive things in Chicago, maybe he can have a shot. But Kanye West at this point, he'll never have it go. You really said, record it. You will vote for Kanye West 2020.
Clickbait incoming. That's going to be the title.
2024, man. Like,
that's going to be the clickbait.
Bro,
great content.
All I'm going to say, period, is Kanye West 2024 for president, period.
Hey, would you, hey, so let me ask you this. If Jay-Z ran for office, would you vote for him?
No.
Yeah.
No. Again. What? You know what?
Hey, he would.
Jay-Z
if he were the president,
chance.
he would teach every citizen how to get money.
Bro.
Period.
Bro,
hey man,
I'm gonna be honest. Jay-Z has a better chance of me getting my vote than Kanye West. I'm not gonna hold
every state of the union address would be free game.
See,
Jay-Z would get all the drug dealers. You know
what? To be honest, Jay-Z Jay-Z probably can't pull it off. I'm not gonna hold you.
Oh,
If
so
Charles
Kanye can't pull it off,
artist,
but Jay-Z can pull it off?
because first of all, we don't see Jay-Z doing crazy stuff like Kanye. We don't see.
Kanye will not do no crazy stuff, bro. Like,
Was he just jacking off Donald Trump? Was he just jacking Donald
that's
Trump?
way too far.
Was he just
Do I
jacking
need to
Donald
pull
Trump? Didn't we just see him in the MAGA hat?
He was faking his support for Kanye. For Trump to get.
Are we sure that's not propaganda?
Bro, that is propaganda. Bro, we have no official documents that this actually happened. Show me the official documents. Unless you show me the official documents,
conspiracy
got
theories.
4 people out of jail, bro. And you think Kanye West is ruining his whole? Bro, Kanye
I saw the video.
Bro, Kanye West has no voice in the black community ever since he did that. You can say what you want, but nobody. It's in the African American community. You think he really sell off his reputation for 4 people to get 4 people out of jail? He thought
it was 4 people.
It was only 4 people he got out of jail. You think he's really gonna throw his reputation away for 4 people? That's
because Kim did most of it.
Bro, he wore mega hats. He was talking. He appeared in pictures with Donald Trump. He supported Donald Trump.
It's going to take a lot to.
He said if he voted in the 2016, he said if he voted in the 2016 election, he would have voted Donald Trump. And you mean to tell me he's really throwing his whole reputation for 4 people, saying all this just for 4 people to get out of jail?
I mean, he grew a lot on that statement since 2016. Like, he had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to improve, a lot of time to do other stuff.
Wow.
And he did.
Next topic, man.
For everyone that's watching this right now, I just want to put in the context that these are 2 big Kanye West fans. So right now, you guys are listening to 2 of the biggest Kanye West fans right now. And Nate is the biggest Kanye West stan. So just to put in the context of what you guys are listening to right now, that's how you know we're very objective and we're not always biased. But sometimes Nate can be a little biased. I ain't going.
Nate is biased. He's biased. And he's
I'm not that biased. I said I would vote for Jay-Z too.
You said you vote Kanye 2024.
Yeah, Jay 2028.
Jay 2028.
Next topic, man. Next topic.
Okay, man. Hey, if you want to go to the next topic, we can go to the next topic. Let me see. Let's talk about DJ Akademiks beefing with Meek Mill, Freddie Gibbs, John Legend, and Chris Teigan.
What?
Like, what is going on?
He was beefing with them too?
Yeah.
Hold up. I gotta use this background.
What is this? What is going on?
Bad Barbie got mad titties for a 15-year-old. You already know.
You said it.
Oh my God.
You said it, not
Act said it.
He put it on himself.
See, let me just put in the context. So I saw this video of him wilding on Twitch, and supposedly I read this article and they said that he was drunk, but that's still no excuse. He was just going crazy. I don't know why he would say those things about Chrissy Teigan. I understand she was sneak dissing him supposedly, but damn, you gotta call her the B word though. You gotta say all that crazy stuff about her though. Like, come on, man.
To a 30-year-old man.
I'm gonna keep it trail with you, man. I feel like Akademiks is done, man.
He's done.
I feel like Akademiks is, bro.
Akademiks, like at this point in time, he literally needs to stop his whole consciousness and what he's doing and said, maybe I should actually be a DJ and just stop all this social media stuff.
It's not even good for him. You know what Ak need to do? Ak need to hit up with Vote. You feel me? He need to get off of Complex. He need to go back to Joe. He need to go back to Joe Budden, man.
Joe to be his mentor at this point.
I don't think Joe Budden wants him back.
Look, man. Look. Akademiks need something like an everyday struggle because Akademiks is taking L after L, bro.
Can we just talk about how sensitive Freddie Gibbs is?
I have never heard anything from that man in my life.
Freddie Gibbs honestly was just joking. Freddie Gibbs was just joking with him. Freddie Gibbs didn't take him serious. It's Akademiks. I mean, Akademiks was the one. He was the main one crying on Twitch.
He was. I give you that. That is true.
Like
But
academics, honestly, bro. I think what happened with academics is, especially when he was coming up, bro. You know how many rappers were just like.
it's because of the Chirac, because of the videos he did about Chicago. That's why people don't respect him.
No, it's
I
not
thought
even
that's
that.
why people respected him.
No, they like Vic Mensa when he was criticizing him.
Vic
he was talking about.
Mensa. we been got that
But
man
it
off the
started. It
platform,
started
bro.
with that. Let's be real. Like when he talked about the mass killings and he was using a lot of satire when he talked about like the killings in Chicago, like with some of these rappers when they were getting killed in the streets and everything. Vic Mensa didn't take kindly to that, and I forgot if he also talked about Chief. Well, he probably did talk about Chief Keef as well. But yeah, a lot of these dudes, they looked at him like, "Yo, who is this clown? You joking about all these killings in Chicago and everything."
As a matter of fact, who killed Vic
That's what got
Mensa's
him
career?
started.
Was it Act? I'm pretty sure it was Act, dog.
That's what got him started, though. Like the war of Act really got him started. And you know what the crazy thing is? Act really changed up journalism and rap. Like,
yeah,
that's true.
Like journalism
now,
is practically dead without them.
Yeah, because now you don't need a degree to be considered a journalist.
Well, it's not even like it. Oh, yeah.
You don't really need to. All you need is just a camera, a computer, and a platform where you can just talk about whatever you want to talk about. And as long as you have a following behind you, hey, you good.
Yeah, but Act just.
he did it
I've
wrong.
been taking Act serious since I don't know, 2018,
2018.
Since 2017, I'm gonna say. I've been taking Act serious since then.
Like Akademiks is he's like these new age rappers, pretty much. Like everything is just easier than it once was. He doesn't have to do much to get his name in the limelight, pretty much.
It's not even that. It's like I don't like Akademiks because ever since he realized he got clout, dude has been talking too tough.
Dang, that is true.
Ever since he realized he has clout, he been really talking tough to these rappers. He been talking
Meek Mill. It was really Meek Mill that kind of ignited everything.
I mean, for
the
Meek
whole
Mill,
Drake beef.
I'll give him Akademiks credit. He was right about Meek Mill. You can't be both an activist and you can't be an activist
and like a gangster and a tough guy.
But I mean, that's a rarely occurrence when he's actually right about something. Like for the most part, every time he beef with a rapper, it's I feel like honestly, bro, when he was coming up, you remember how everybody was talking about him, shouldering on him. They was at his head. Now he got some power. Now he think he really, now he think he really the shit. So it's he really think he has power in rap, and he think he could cancel people.
I think that's why he's salty now, because just everything that's been happening in the past few years, people clowning him, not taking him seriously on his word and everything. And I can understand it because just look at the way he came out. Like he didn't go through process of becoming a journalist. He kind of maneuvered past the process, and he got there faster than others. That's why people resent him a lot of times. Joe Budden even touched about it a few years ago. He talked about that. I think it was on the Everyday Struggle. They talked about it.
Dang, what I really want to see from Akademiks is like real development, because he's going on 30. He's only 28 though. But I would really like to see some growth and development from him, turning to an adult kid wise, like Jay-Z, because Jay-Z was kind of immature, talking about getting money, getting females, and all of that. And now he's talking about how to get money, how to just give and get,
More of a OG.
You really think we could take
Akademiks seriously? No, we can't take him seriously.
Act is not gonna be no OG.
You know what? Maybe to work on some comedy sets and do stand up, just perfect his
craft. You know what? I actually just go to rehab.
Rehab.
You know what? Not rehab. he should just take a break. He should take a break. You know what I'm saying? Lay low for like a month. Lay low for a month or two. Let this all pass. Come back with a brand new attitude.
Hey, I'll be back, y'all. Take my seat. I gotta get up
That's
from
what
the
he
lunch
should
table
do.
a little bit.
That's what he should do, man.
I mean, she should try to get in like Vlad TV's sort of lane. I know you don't like Vlad TV, but people respect Vlad, although some people might not respect him a little bit. But at the end of the day, they respect his platform. They respect what he's talking about and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like he should get on that lane, honestly.
I don't see him ever getting to a Vlad TV lane because I think he can do it. I just don't think he will do it because of his personality. Because Act's thing is he's just gonna tell you like what he thinks. Vlad doesn't really do that. Vlad just sits there and asks questions.
No. See, you haven't watched
for the most part, we go to Vlad interviews for the person he's interviewing, not for Vlad.
That's true.
So I don't think Akademiks' ego will let him actually like do that because Act is just not gonna do that.
Well, what about the 6ix9ine interviews? He didn't like just let 6ix9ine speak. He didn't give his own opinion on the situations.
Well, 6ix9ine is his. Well, in that interview, I don't think Act is his thing. Act usually does like interviews on the rappers who actually mess with him. Rappers don't mess with him like that. Like he'll only give his platform to people he messes with.
He messes with a lot of the new age rappers. That's what I know.
I mean, they're not superstar. Like, you right about that, but they're not. You can't tell me too many popular rappers who he was really cool with. I mean, outside, especially recently, you can't tell me too many rappers he was actually cool with type stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like he's the guy that the new rappers go to.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Bro,
maybe this was like 2017 when he had X, when he had Trippy, when he had Cole, when he was cool with rappers. You feel me? Back then he was cool with rappers. Now I don't really see it as much.
You're not cool with Trippy no more?
The only rapper I really see him like interacting with nowadays is
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine, and that's it. I don't see him interacting with Trippy anymore. I don't see him interacting with any of those rappers.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it's maybe because he doesn't try anymore, because he feels like he doesn't need to, because he is on his like high horse, so maybe he feels like he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's also just cause like his. I think it's cause honestly, I feel like before it was like he had fans, like they were his fans type shit. I don't think these new rappers are his fans like back then.
That's a tough thing.
Cause back then it he actually had some good points, but now it's just like he just got too much of an ego.
He's a joke. He's a joke now.
Yeah.
So what should he do?
Just like I said, he should take a few months, quit Complex. I think he should quit Complex.
Take a few months?
I think he should take a few months off. The reason why I say a few months is so, people forget stuff. Because, especially in the age of the internet, a few months is like a year. So, unless they try to come back and cancel him, which I doubt is really going to happen to him. Because he would have been canceled already if that's the case. But he should just take a few months off so people forget about the stuff that he did. I think he should quit. I think he should quit Complex because I don't really see him really getting much from Complex. That's why I say Revolt TV, because I think Revolt TV really. You can say what you want, but Revolt TV really people really they go off on Revolt from what I see.
But you don't even watch Revolt TV. You don't even watch that.
I don't watch the
Joe Budden show.
Hey, Joe, that's because I didn't know about the name of it. I like Joe Budden. I just like him, but I think those two really did have something special together. I think he needs to find somebody else who he's cool with, try to do a show, and I think he can do it on his own platform.
Does he really need somebody else? Why? I mean, he was already doing well by himself, honestly.
He was doing well, but it's like, what him and Joe had, it was like two different opinions. Like I think for him to do his own show, I don't think he can do his own show. Would you
Not
sit there and
anymore.
watch Akademiks talk for 30 minutes?
If we're talking about what he used to do back in like 2014, 2015, I mean,
On Twitch, he had other people with him. Like when he was on Twitch, he had other people talking with him.
I'm just
He would
talking
bring people on
YouTube.
his Twitch.
I'm just talking about his
I
YouTube
mean,
channel
YouTube
when
was like
he didn't show his face.
That was like 5-minute intervals. That wasn't for like 30 minutes.
Okay, so you wanted him to do like they did before on Everyday Struggle with Joe Budden. That's what you want him to do. So continue what he's doing right now, but just not with the what he's doing right now, pretty much with Wayno and Nadeska.
Yeah. Because he's not getting nothing from it.
Yeah, because I feel like he's not really like giving all his talents to the table. Pretty much, I feel like they're kind of restricting him in a sense.
That's what I'm saying. Revolt's gonna let him do what he wants.
But yeah, I don't know. I really don't think he should be signed with anybody.
The reason why I say he should sign with people is because when you sign with big corporations like Complex or Revolt, you get connections within the industry. You get more connections within the industry. I mean, the industry is big. Sure, access to it is like it now. Now it may seem like anybody can just access it because we have the internet, but it's not like that. Like I feel like the music industry, thanks to the internet, is even more locked down. Like I think it's even more harder to get into now.
I just feel like he has enough connections, though.
Yeah, I think if Act goes independent, then like his whole career would go off the rails unless he puts the bottle down, because he could just like say something that gets him really messed up. Like he's going to think Freddie Gibbs a problem. It's going to be somebody bigger that he comes for when he's off that bottle and he's independent.
Yeah,
because like with the corporation, at least they can like keep him in check a little.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Revolt TV, that just don't sound like the move, bro. Because I like Joe Budden, but the show that Joe Budden is on Revolt TV, it's all right. I mean, it's nothing crazy about it. But the Joe Budden podcast, now that is the shit.
I never liked it. I'm sorry, I tried to watch it.
Because he has creative freedom, and you get to see like his like emotions come out the most, and you get to see like his real opinions coming out, and he actually has time to discuss all these topics and not try to debate somebody all the time.
Yeah,
that's true.
But yeah, let's talk about this is a big thing that just happened a few weeks ago, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So with all these protests going on, with all these, with the Black Lives Matter movement, we're finally getting some sort of legislation, and the House passed the George Floyd Policing Act. And what that act entails is pretty much holding police officers accountable, limit qualified immunity, which means that police officers are qualified immunity. Police officers are kind of shielded from getting arrested or getting charged with crimes that they may have committed against people, like police brutality, stuff like that. So what they're doing is with this is they're going to limit qualified immunity. They're also going to issue more investigations in the police departments for stuff like discrimination, and they're also going to report more data and for incidents like George Floyd and Rashard Brooks, like police brutality, use of force incidents. So yeah, this is a big deal, honestly, because that's what we've been protesting.
Yeah, like what I said in the last episode, it's a fight worth fighting, and you see like some fruition of that.
Exactly, but the problem is that we don't know. Okay, so all right, the House passed it, but we're still waiting on the Senate to pass as well. And the leader of the Senate, he's kind of like taking his time on it, and I don't know if he's going to even bother trying to pass it, until Trump is out of office. So we don't really know when it's going to be passed. It might not be passed until the next year.
The black bald guy with the white wife.
Nah, it's this guy by the name of Mitch McConnell. He's like the leader of the Senate, and he's kind of like taking his time on it and stuff. And a lot of people don't like him, and he's just taking his time on it, and he's not trying to pass it right now. I don't know why. And I was listening on the radio, bro, and there was like a hearing, you know, in the House of Representatives, and this one Republican, he was like, why are you guys rushing it to pass it? Why can't we negotiate? And I'm like, negotiate what exactly? What are we negotiating here? Because seriously, we're trying to address police brutality. And if you want to negotiate something, I mean, we could always just pass another act, whatever you're trying to negotiate. So it just makes no sense. And people want to not pass the bill for what?
Or what? It's because they're racist, plain and simple.
Exactly.
You know why they could be waiting? They could be waiting for a new president to do it because, you know, even if they do pass it, Trump could veto it.
Yeah, but as long as they get like, what is it, like 65%?
If it gets 65%, I think Trump in his power can still veto a law like that.
Yeah, he could try to veto it. He could try to veto it, but as long as they get 65% of the people, I think in the House and the Senate, hey, it's going to get passed no matter what. All they need is 65%.
Yeah. But I mean, it takes a long time for law to happen. I mean, it takes years and years for this to really take a hold, to take effect. So,
but it is an act, though. It's an act. It's between an act and law.
For bills to be passed, it takes a long time. Like, it takes a while. It takes years. It takes months, even years, even.
That's true. But the thing about acts don't take as nearly as long as a law because I forgot exactly why, but just looking at the 1968 Bill of Rights Act, like that didn't take too long for it to pass. So I'm just saying.
It to pass?
I think it didn't. I know it didn't take too long. I think they passed it the same year, honestly, when it came up. The 1968 Bill of Rights Act.
If anything, like everything that's been going on, unless they're blind to it, should accelerate the process of these acts being passed.
Like just look at the past acts. Like I think it was it 1964? I forgot what act that was. And then 1965 Voting Rights Act. Like all these acts, I believe they were passed in the same year, if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, there should be no excuse. They should be getting this, done by now. There should be no reason why you should try to negotiate. Like, what are we negotiating? Like, you want
freedom or
exactly
our rights?
They're gonna try to, bro. This is what they're gonna do. They're like, all right, we're gonna negotiate. They just want to take something away or put something in there that would try to, give us a disadvantage like they always have done in the past. So no, I don't want to negotiate. You crazy?
Talk about the Voting Rights Act for a second, like how they were taking bit by bit out, like every so often.
So
if you didn't
the
talk about that already.
The Voting Rights Act. So in the past like 10, 15 years, they have been taking, sections out of the Voting Rights Act, the 1965 Voting Rights Act, and really, nobody has been really discussing it. I mean, CNN, they've discussed it then and there in the past, like 3-4 years. But, like, I think there was this one section and that they took out. And if you look at the 2016 election, you look at all these people saying that it was hijacked and that there was a lot of that Trump cheated and all this other stuff. Well, that stems from them taking away Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act pretty much. I forgot what exactly was in it, but it just makes sure that there's no tampering or there's no foolishness going on in the voting. Like for instance, I forgot exactly what they do, but it's just some shadiness that they'll do to try to prevent people from voting. Like taking these tests, like they'll give people tests to take in order for them to be eligible to vote and stuff like that. So just
Jeez.
little stuff like that they try to do in order for us to not be able to vote.
Wow. If you want that issue to stop being ignored, I would suggest bringing it to Twitter.
To be
And
honest,
so like,
2016. I mean, 2016 was a I mean, the Germans hacked the election for 2016 in order to get Trump elected.
Yeah, Russia. So like, for instance, Section 5, I believe in Section 5, what happened is that, so for instance, they say, okay, you have to take this certain test. Well, for Section 5, what it did was they would look over the test that the people would, give the, people like us who are trying to vote. They would look over it to make sure that it's legitimate and and it doesn't, I guess it doesn't, just, go against our rights and stuff like that. But since they taking it away, they don't have to worry about that no more. They can do what they ever might please, and that's how they got away with it in 2016. So that's what happened.
I don't know what to say to that, man. I mean, I'm really happy that the bill got passed. I mean, it's soon enough. I just hope people don't stop protesting.
Exactly. And that
I just hope that people. I hope people don't stop protesting, and I hope that they actually I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that people don't stop protesting, of course, but I also hope that they don't need to protest anymore eventually. If you get my.
I mean, that'll take a long time. I mean, I think there should be. I think people should start. I don't even think. I think for African Americans, we should just start finding ways to really build like our economics up as a community. I think at the end of the day, that's what we need to work on.
We don't celebrate July 4th. We celebrate Juneteenth.
Facts. Yeah. See, that's where everybody dropped the ball because there were no.
Nathaniel, you was grilling July 4th, bro.
I was grilling because I was.
You was
hungry.
grilling July 4th.
Hey.
What are you talking about? Hey.
I know you wanted.
Hey,
don't
was
hit
grilling
on.
July 4th.
I know you wanted to sled.
Oh, you was eating glizzies on July 4th. What are you talking about?
Wasn't. There were half.
You was eating glizzies. You was dressing up your glizzies July 4th, bro.
Glizzy, hey, that term glizzy is kind of outdated now because everybody uses it.
I mean, no, not outdated, just ruined.
It's
ruined now because somebody in California using it. But still,
should stop using it for the rest of the year until it dies down, and then when it's safe to use it back again,
nah,
use it, June of next year.
And you are kind of right. Once I saw somebody in California using it, it's like wow, for real.
They using our slang.
I mean, California of all places. I'm cool with New York, but California.
New York. I'm cool with people from New York, but California, nah. Y'all need to stay over there. Use your own slang. Y'all don't even have your own slang, but stay over there.
More importantly, it's not even the fact that it's people from California. It's the fact that it's
white. Facts.
Yo, did you see that video of these white kids trying to chop? They was trying to beat
their feet. No, don't.
It was like a video. It was like a whole class towards them just beating their feet.
Bro, I'm gonna cry. They gotta at least be from Virginia if they're gonna do that.
Listen, man.
Virginia, dang.
DMV slang is you can't steal DMV slang because we're gonna hold you accountable. We say ja like, we say glizzy, we say mo. I forgot the other slang.
It's highly distinguishable if you're using DMV lingo that's different from the regular lingo we use. We're going to hold you accountable, and we might.
And that's not Baltimore slang either. That's DMV. That means Prince George's County, DC, and I don't even know about Virginia. I'm gonna be honest. Virginia.
Aren't you from Virginia, bro?
No, I'm not. I lived there for 2 years. That does not mean I'm from Virginia. I lived there for 2 years, bro. And they do not use. I don't recall them using any of those type of slangs, honestly.
Hey, that's a tough scene.
You were there doing recon for the DMV to make sure that they don't use that lingo. That's all it was.
It's really just DC and PG County and maybe some parts of Montgomery County, but Baltimore, no. You are not a part of this. I'm sorry. And I'm not hating on Baltimore people. I love my Baltimore people, but
Baltimore's his own state.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all are different from us. I'm sorry.
Maryland doesn't even
Talking
claim
just you,
Baltimore,
y'all.
bro. Maryland don't claim Baltimore, bro. You either from PG or you from Baltimore or you from Maryland.
Or you could just be like, or you could just, be more specific. PG County, Montgomery County, and Baltimore.
I ain't never heard anybody claim Montgomery County, bro.
Never.
In all my years of living, I ain't
I'm
never
from
heard
Montgomery County.
I ain't never. You all from? Are you from Montgomery County?
Hell no, I'm not from Montgomery County.
Oh, we were about to bar you. We were about to.
I was about to say.
Is it Montgomery County and Waldorf?
No, that's Charles County.
Oh, that's Charles County. See, I don't know my counties like that.
You said that too confident.
Hey, the only county you need to know is PG. Period.
Exactly.
That's too confident.
We have the best carryout.
And we're the richest black county in America.
Bro, that's really difficult to see.
But we don't have but in my neighborhood, we don't have a good giant. Like, that's crazy. How are we the richest county?
Hey,
Washington is the richest.
I don't need to know that. Don't tell them that much. Just
No.
See, that's
the problem. See, that's the problem. We need to put equity. They need to put equity in these black communities, especially Fort Washington, because if we're one of the richest cities in Maryland, there should be no reason why we shouldn't have the best of the best, like Virginia does.
Talk, Aaron.
I thought they were rebuilding Giant though. Like,
I don't even know what they're doing.
Rebuilding
I don't even know. It might take 10, 15 years before they rebuild it.
To be honest, it just sounds like you're just ignorant as someone living in PG. It just sounds like you don't know your own community.
Bro, you
pulled the sheet back too far.
Same community as me, and you know how the shopping centers, you know how the area is. Like, there's nothing around. All we have is like Domino's, KFC, McDonald's, Taco Bell.
Everything.
Like,
we're getting a Chipotle. We're getting a tropical smoothie. Panda
Well,
Express. When have we ever got a Panda Express?
What are you talking about? We got the whole Panda Express.
Usually, you got to go all the way out Charles County to get
exactly.
Right here.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about, Aaron, man.
So, like, I'm not talking about Oxon Hill, because Oxon Hill, they kind of renovating a little bit. I'm talking about in our specific neighborhood in Fort Washington.
I live in a bubble.
Oxon Hill,
Fort Washington and Oxon Hill, though.
Oxon Hill is first. Fort Washington is next. Right now, they're improving roads and everything. Soon enough, when they're done with Oxon Hill, then they're going to start improving Fort Washington.
Yeah, no more
I guess we'll see what happens with that. I'm just waiting for it, because I know one thing. We need to improve our communities, because you go across the bridge to Virginia, they got everything.
Because they're white.
Exactly.
Wait,
and that's
what?
the problem.
I don't even know what you do. You just did this. You didn't say because they're.
Aaron heard me.
I heard you loud and clear. People watching the video are gonna hear you loud and clear. Promise you that.
Promise
you that. But
I mean, my man did a whole hand gesture talking about some Aaron heard me. That's tough.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to politics, when it comes to legislation, this is what I'm talking about here. This is what needs to happen. They need to put their money in these black communities. They need to put their money into education for black people. I don't want to hear, minorities. No, black people. Black people. Because we have been the last in the line for the longest time. And I just rhymed right there.
And he ain't lying.
Ooh, you see what I mean? See, we rapping right now. But anywho, we've been the last in the line, my guy. So it's time for us to be first in line for once.
Talk that talk.
Like, I'm tired of getting the worst food possible. I want the best food. I want to eat like
okay. You try to expose us. We already got good food.
I want to eat. I want our grocery stores. I want our grocery stores to have the best food possible. I don't want that expiration food. I don't I don't want my
That's
vegetables
You
that's
asking for food that doesn't have enough
I don't want my vegetables to be all bad when I go in there. I want them to be fresh every
And what
day.
grocery store you be
What is
shopping
he
at? You can just
talking
go to
about?
the Safeway down
The
the street.
Giant. I'm
on
talking
Swan
about
Street.
I'm talking about the old Giant. Every time I go to the store, the vegetables are bad. Like I'm like, come on, man.
To be
Come
honest, I think
on,
that's your
man.
fault. I feel like that's your fault as a consumer for not checking
Come
the
on,
expiration
man.
date. And what sense? Wait, time out.
That's why I stopped
I'm
going
out
to the
there.
Giant.
Consumer's fault.
Oh boy.
Well,
And
at
the
what
Safeway
point
too.
does the consumer not get responsibility for not checking the expiration date?
No, I'm just saying when you no. I'm talking about the vegetables that are out in the open and stuff like that. Like you'll see like
All
the
of the
lettuce,
vegetables are out in
the
the
lettuce, the
What are you
lettuce and the
talking about?
broccoli, the
And
lettuce and
what
the
are you talking
broccoli.
You know what I'm talking about.
What
When
is
you
this
walk,
dude talking
when
about?
you walk
Police
into
do
the
medicine
Giant,
tomatoes,
when you walk
dog.
into the old Giant, the first
Yo,
thing
we
you see on the right side, you'll see vegetables on your right side. Those are the vegetables I'm talking about, and they're always
Giving
bad.
the blueprint of Giant, dog.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
You just hate Giant at this point. You don't. I feel like you don't. I feel like I don't think this is a community issue. I feel like you just hate Giant.
No. I'm not the only person that
Just
says
because it's Safeway. It's that easy.
that are
That's what I'm saying,
bad.
bro.
It's that
want
easy. Just
a
don't
good
go to
Giant.
Giant.
You live like
Just
one
don't
turn
go
from
to
Safeway.
Giant. But they don't even
And
make
even
Giants
and
anymore.
even
That's a
and even Safeway, I be going to Safeway and I be like, yo, what's up with these vegetables? Like, what's
What?
up with the
Bro,
lettuce?
how
Like
you
the
not like
lettuce
go to the
the
one on
lettuce is
Liberty.
all yellow and stuff, and
Bro, what
the
Safeway you?
herbs are all
What
yellow.
are you going
I'm
to?
not eating at your house, dog.
Where you be going to, dog?
I be going to the Safeway.
Which one?
Bro,
Not too far,
bro,
like
you're not
5
going
minutes
to the right
away.
places.
Not too far.
He not going to the right. Bro, he going to Charles County,
just-
bro.
I'm just
What is
saying,
he
like,
talking-
the only time I see like good vegetables at Safeway is like maybe Friday.
What
Then just
now?
go on Fridays.
Like I'll go on Friday, maybe Friday. The rest of the day,
That's
maybe
probably
Friday
when
or
you stop.
Saturday.
So
Maybe
you go
Friday
to
or
the grocery
Saturday.
store every day to check if they have good
No,
vegetables, and if they
I'm
don't, you
just
just
saying
walk out.
whenever I go to Safeway and I'll go like maybe Friday or Saturday, the vegetables are all right. But if I go like on the weekday, the vegetables are just bad. I'm like, damn.
You
Really?
ever think that's because that's when they restock?
But I'm just saying, you're supposed to always have fresh, good vegetables in supply.
Man.
As
Next
the
topic.
consumer,
Next
you should
topic.
always.
You went
expect
all,
the
bro, you went
best of
all the way
best.
left. Wait, you went all the way left, man. First we talking about we got fix the community. Now we talking about
we need more support in our communities. We need the best of the best. We should be eating like kings because we are kings and queens at the end of the day.
You know what you should do, Aaron?
We should be eating like these rich white folks, man. I'm
Okay,
tired
you want to be like the white man?
No, we should be
the
eating,
white man credit.
The white man be eating the best of the best. We should be eating the best of the best too, because we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all should be treated equal. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem with this world today, because we're not being treated equal. We always being treated as second class citizens.
So how y'all feel about this NBA, man?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling love. I feel the love. I feel the vibe. I feel everything inside. I love the NBA season. I can't wait for it to return. Lakers 2020 champions. This coronavirus is crazy. The quarantine that the NBA is going to go through is insane, because once they get there, once they get tested, and I don't know how long. I guess if they're not tested positive, they're going to still be going into quarantine, and they're pretty much going to be in their rooms for like 4 or 5 days, and that's just what they're going to be in. And literally they have 24-hour service, but they're going to be stuck in their room. They can't go out, which is crazy.
Okay, cool.
You think they really gonna like have it set up?
Not talking about vegetables anymore.
No, I was just talking, bro. I was watching this. I forgot her name, but she was on Sports Center, and she was a reporter, and she was in the NBA bubble, and she got tested, and she reported to her room, and now she's stuck in there for the next few days. She can't go out of her room. She's being quarantined. She has 24-hour, service, but they give her food 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. So those are the only times she gets food.
No cap, that sounds like jail, man.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But they are. I don't know. Like, it just sounds crazy to me.
Bro, it's like, man, I feel like we got to do all this for the season. This is not worth it.
But, like, it's just going to be, like, quarantine for, like, a few days. But it's still like, dang, that sounds crazy.
Your predictions remain unchanged?
No way. Yeah, my predictions remain unchanged. We already know who's going to win the chip. LBJ, LeBron James, Lakers 2020 champions. We're going to be determined. We're going to be motivated. We got J.R. Smith. We're going to win it. And we're going to bring the Hennessy also.
The Lakers fan.
Hey. If LeBron win the title this year, bro, and he wants your president in 2024, you voting for him, Aaron?
I don't know. I gotta see what his plans are. I know he's gonna try to help the black community, but you can't just look at the black community. You gotta look at everything as a whole. You gotta look diplomatically as well.
I feel like you would vote for him.
First of all, is he gonna be a third party? Is he gonna be Democrat? Is he gonna be Republican? Like, I need to know these things.
But I don't know the Lakers. I don't know about the Lakers. Like, these days, I really don't know about who's going to win the championship at this point.
Hey, Brandon,
I do.
Change your background now.
Hey, you feel me? We got to throw Akademiks. I'm going to keep it up here, man.
All right.
Listen, at the end of the day, I already know who's going to win. I already know the teams that are going to make it all the way. It's going to be 3 or 4 teams that will potentially be able to win the championship. The other ones are just...
Well, who's going to make the finals, man?
Not the Wizards.
It's going to be the Lakers and the Bucks or the Celtics. But
you got the Bucks. You got the Bucks over the Heat.
Did you really just put the Heat in there?
Hey, the Heat been undefeated to the Bucks.
Stop. I'm not putting
Heat been undefeated to the Bucks.
Hey, the Bucks are not the only people fighting for the chip, though.
I'm going to keep it 12 with you, man. I don't see the Bucks making it out the East. I just don't. I don't believe in their coach. I don't believe Giannis could really win games in close situations.
You don't believe in their coach?
I don't believe in their coach. I don't believe.
So who do you believe in?
Necessary.
Who do you believe in?
Who do I believe in?
Yeah, who do you believe?
Man, I believe in God. Anyway.
Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens?
I'd take Brad Stevens over that coach any day.
You do realize the Bucks coach did beat the Boston Celtics coach, Brad Stevens, last year.
Mm-hmm.
They 4-1 them.
But what was Kyrie doing? Kyrie was throwing away the game, basically.
Throwing away. See, there's your excuses. Did they win or not? Did the Bucks win or not? The Celtics had everybody on the team. They had the whole squad, and they lost. They
didn't have chemistry. They didn't have chemistry.
Oh, they don't have chemistry. Okay, whatever.
I believe in Nick Nurse.
Who taught us that?
I believe in Nick Nurse.
Hold up. Whose fault is that?
What?
Whose fault is that they didn't have chemistry?
I don't know, man.
Honestly,
you know what? I don't think it's the coach. I think it's part of the coach's fault, but I feel like at the end of the day, players got egos. Within that team, players had egos.
You got to manage the egos. Got to manage them.
Bro.
Did you not watch The Last Dance?
Man, The Last Dance is a trash documentary.
Oh my God!
I said what I said. That joint is trash.
You gotta watch.
You know why it's garbage? You know why it's garbage?
Why?
Because we didn't have insight to anything, really.
What you mean you didn't have insight?
We didn't have insight to anything, Michael Jordan. You know, it gave a blank picture of everybody except Michael.
What you mean? We got insight about Scottie Pippen. We got insight about Dennis Rodman.
If you're gonna do a documentary, I said we got an insight on everybody except Michael Jordan. But if you're going to do a documentary, it has to be no bias. It has to be non-biased.
I agree. It was kind of biased.
It was biased. It was biased.
He had technically he had full control over the documentary because
and that's what I didn't like. I don't think it should be like that. I feel like you're either going to put an unbiased, like you have to let us make the narrative. You can't push a narrative on us, and that's why I disliked it.
But let's be honest. At the end of the day, the one person we want to hear the most is Michael Jordan. Be honest.
No.
I'm interested without Michael Jordan.
Well, I would have liked to hear more about Dennis Rodman.
That's what I'm saying. I like Dennis Rodman more from watching
the
that
deepest
than I
they
like
got
Michael,
with Dennis
actually.
Rodman was like he hit a girl in the middle of the Bulls arena.
Bro,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
you
even
talking
that.
about when
My
he
man's real life
had
flew out to
sex with a girl?
WrestleMania in the middle of the finals, flew back in, won the game. Come on
But
now.
that's Dennis Rodman's fault because Dennis Rodman he told the guy who was interviewing him, "I'll give you 10 minutes," because the guy was going to interview him for hours, but he was like, "I'll give you 10 minutes."
Yes,
Like what?
ego definitely got in the way.
See what I mean? Like, what can you do with Dennis Rodman? Like, seriously, if he tells you, "All right, I'll give you 10 minutes,"
That's dirty.
what can you do?
Like it
But he
hurts
was.
for like it hurts to a director for somebody to do that because you want like the deepest insight, but then like you're gonna
I
have
think we
the
did get the
person that you want
deepest
to
insight.
interview like give you only 10 minutes, like the
Bro,
butthole,
he
bro.
told him, "If you give me a sandwich, I think it was a Subway sandwich, and then something else, like,
Camilla T.
I'll do. Oh yeah. I'll do the interview."
That's
But
dirty.
first of all, he was 3 hours late. That's number one. And then second of all, you go tell him, "Hey, give me a sandwich and a drink." And then third of all, you're gonna be like, "All right, I'll give you 10 minutes." Like what?
Hey, I'm
Come
gonna keep it
on.
fair with you. That Dennis Rodman documentary was better than that. Was better than The Last Dance. I stand.
No.
It was way better than Last Dance. I'll
No.
watch that. It was way better than that. Have you watched it? It was
I
way better.
have watched it. I know a little
I
bit
liked
about
it
the
way
story.
better. To
This
be
is on
honest, after
ESPN.
watching Last Dance, I like Dennis Rodman more than Michael, actually.
I mean, who
This is on
wouldn't?
ESPN. Dennis
Yeah,
Rodman.
Yeah, it's on
Ooh.
ESPN.
it's a 30 for 30, I think, but it's really good. I think it was one of my favorite ones, actually. But yeah,
Dennis Rodman's crazy.
if I had, I'd rather watch LeBron James documentary than watch Last Dance.
LeBron James.
I'd rather watch LeBron James.
Why LeBron James?
I mean, 'cause I just like LeBron James' story more.
Too early for LeBron. Like he has a long way to go.
Like if he was to retire and make a documentary, I would rather watch that than watch Michael Jordan. Honestly, any day.
Do you think LeBron will actually be? He wouldn't be biased at all. You think he would actually be objective in what he's saying?
I think I think that whoever makes a documentary would be objective. I think they make a documentary. Whoever does that would be objective.
You think LeBron will actually speak in the documentary?
Yeah,
Bro,
he's cool.
Even if he doesn't speak, I still think it's stronger. I still think it'll be better than The Last Dance because can I make my point?
Go ahead. Make your point.
I like Michael Jordan. LeBron James he came out of high school, did he not? He came from an impoverished situation. He was the first, bro. He had the most hype ever for an NBA player coming to a draft. I've never seen a player more hype than him, and he delivered. And I feel like in his career, I feel like in his career, you have no choice but to have an unbiased opinion. I mean, I feel like especially in his documentary, there's too many times where he just hasn't shown up for it to not. You can't pass it up for LeBron. You can pass it up for Michael because it's like 6-6 in the finals. You can pass it up for Michael Jordan
because he's Michael.
You can't pass it up. You can't pass it up for LeBron.
Listen, man, I don't think the reason I like the Last Dance is because you got Michael Jordan actually telling it himself. He's not relying on somebody else to tell him. No, it's actually him physically in a room being interviewed by a director. Like you're actually getting him to speak on it. LeBron James, I don't know if he's going to speak on it because a lot of times he has people speaking for him. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I want LeBron James to say something himself. I don't want a statement. I don't want a quote from somebody like his agent or anything speaking up for him. Like I want LeBron James front and center telling me exactly how he feels. And then I remember he did something for ESPN talking about he's the GOAT because of the 3-1 comeback. Like I want to see stuff like that, even though it's ridiculous. I want to see.
So what do you think about his show? You don't think he do it even though he has a show?
What show? What show are you talking?
He has the show. He has the show on HBO. The Barbershop.
Oh, Oh,
You don't think he do it even though he has the barbershop?
I feel like that the barbershop is cool, but at the same time, it feels like it's like one-sided in a sense. Like there's no like people aren't really arguing that match. The only time people were like arguing is when they had Lil Nas X and Kevin Hart was like, you know, saying his stuff and people were criticizing him. That's the only time it really, you know, became like an actual argument in a sense. But it wasn't even that big of an argument.
I too agree that it was too edited for my liking. It wasn't raw and unscripted. But I think LeBron would do it because he has a show. And I think
look at Drake.
And Space Jam 2 is going to help him out too.
And also I think LeBron would definitely. I think LeBron just had more impact the fact that he switched teams because there's so many storylines you can add. I mean, you can invite Kyrie Irving, have a sit down with those two. This is so much more insight.
You can write about his football career.
Bro,
you can have the banana boat.
That's a separate documentary right there.
That's not a bro. You can.
No, if it were a separate documentary, it wouldn't be as powerful. You gotta like
that's what I'm
every
saying.
storyline in it.
That's what I'm saying. Like a LeBron documentary would be 20 episodes. It would be 2 seasons.
20 episodes?
2 seasons.
No.
Hey,
no way.
If you can milk Michael Jordan's into 10 seasons, you can milk LeBron James into 2 seasons, man. 20 episodes.
I just don't. I'm just afraid that LeBron's just not going to, you know, speak about it himself. He's going to rely on somebody else to speak for him.
I think LeBron is definitely going to do it. I think LeBron is definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is going to be like way down the line, just like
it's gonna be a long time.
LeBron afraid to be interviewed by Stephen A. Smith. I don't know, man. He's afraid to be interviewed by a lot of these journalists that are going to hold him accountable. He always goes to the journalists that, you know, be nice to him and cater to him and everything and try to protect him.
Well,
like, no,
you don't know. If
I was talking trash
him
about
after his
you
retirement.
all the time, would you want to be cool with me, bro?
You don't have to be cool with me. I want somebody that, listen, I don't want somebody that's going to try to protect me all the time and try to cater to me. Like, I want real interview. Like, I want actual questions that people actually want me to answer that I know.
If I tarnish your name in the press, over. If my whole career is to tarnish your name in the press, like Skip Bayless.
I want to talk to Skip Bayless. I want that smoke.
All right, man.
I want that.
I mean,
smoke.
that would make for an interesting documentary. Like each episode is like a rivalry and the dialogue between them while it's talking about the past and all that.
Well, it's an interview. It's an interview.
I want that smoke.
It's not a debate. It's an interview.
I want that smoke.
Yeah, but the interview with the tension, like the known tension.
It's an interview.
Who's to say it can't be both? Because like they're both professional enough to keep it.
I would want, if I'm LeBron James, I would want an interview with somebody. I wouldn't mind you asking hard questions, but I would want an interview, not somebody who's gonna tell me what I did. And imagine me coming up here telling you what you did, telling you that you quit.
Dang.
No, I want an interview, unbiased.
Shit, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's all I'm asking for is an unbiased.
I want to have a conversation with the people that have been criticizing me, who are my critics, that have always been against me. I want to talk to those people. Like, I'm not afraid. I want that smoke because I want people to know that, hey, this person is wrong. Hey, I want to expose this dude.
How about like decided interviewer like every 10 episodes?
You said what? You said what the thing?
Like different, like interviewer on a different platform every 10 episodes out of 20.
Well, I wasn't talking about that like for the documentary. I'm just talking about just regular old interview that you see these NBA players are doing. Like for me, when I watch LeBron, he always is interviewed by somebody that will protect him. Like they won't ask him the hard-hitting questions and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Stop trying to cater to him. Stop trying to protect him. Ask him the hard-hitting questions that everybody wants to know. I'm tired of that.
I agree with that.
He's always talking to like Rachel Nichols, like that white lady that's on NBA Jump and all that. I'm like, bro, stop it. I want Stephen A. to interview. I want somebody like that. I want Michael Wilbon, people like that aren't afraid to, ask you those crazy questions that everybody wants to know.
All right, so what NBA superstar would you want to see an interview on?
Oh, that's easy. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
LeBron. Yes, Kevin Durant is very interesting, actually. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. What is Kevin
Durant
Durant doing in the media?
I feel like they already did that for something in the water.
See, Kevin Durant, there's a lot of stuff that I would love to discuss with Kevin Durant, because especially Golden State and him leaving OKC, all those things, and then him going to the Nets with Kyrie. Like, Kevin Durant has a lot of things that I would like to discuss with him. Kyrie, I definitely want to talk to Kyrie. Kyrie is definitely another guy.
Well, that's going to be that would be in the LeBron interview. You would basically see like other people's careers in the LeBron interview. That's how much of an impact he has, in my opinion.
That's fact.
So you're talking about, okay, are we talking about the LeBron documentary and who I would want to interview in the documentary, like NBA players I want to interview? Oh yeah, Kyrie for sure. Kevin Durant. Who else? I would probably interview Dwayne Wade, of course. Obviously Dwayne Wade, that's
for sure.
No question. Richard Jefferson, I would interview him because he's always entertaining to listen to. J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith.
Oh, yeah. That would be hard.
I would definitely Iman Shumpert. I would interview Iman Shumpert because Iman Shumpert, he also speaks his mind as well. Kendrick Perkins, I'd probably interview him.
Paul Pierce.
Who are not good than Kendrick Perkins? You're about to get the whole NBA in there. Golly.
I will put Paul Pierce in
there.
there.
Not really nobody named Kendrick Perkins.
I want different sides. I want different sides. I don't want it to be biased. I don't want it to be one side.
It's not biased, but Paul Pierce is a terrible commentator. I will say that. What you mean?
It's like Paul Pierce being interviewed is the equivalent of Isaiah Thomas being interviewed on The Last Dance. Because we already know.
I wouldn't say Isaiah Thomas.
There's a better rival than Kendrick Perkins.
I would have said KG, or I would have said KG or Steph Curry.
I would do KG. I would do
Steph Curry for sure.
I would do KG over Paul Pierce. I don't like Paul Pierce.
What? No, I'll put Paul Pierce in there.
Tell me one thing that Paul Pierce has said that's ever relevant. Everything Paul Pierce said is biased towards him.
Well, ever relevant?
At most.
When he was saying that the Celtics
towards him.
When he was saying that the Celtics, at the time when he was in Cleveland the first go round, they didn't fear him. Like, I feel like that was relevant. I feel like that he gave us like good insight on how the Celtics felt about LeBron. So things like that in terms of, when he was in Cleveland and then when he went to Miami, just how his attitude changed, because he touched on it on the jump and on First Take before. So I would like him to talk about that.
No, I
good insight.
I rather KG. He had that attitude. KG had that attitude.
I like KG, but he not gonna be as. But Paul Pierce, he's just gonna
KG's
bring
more
something different.
KG doesn't care, bro. KG's.
I would bring both. I would have both of them on there. Honestly,
I don't like Paul Pierce. I just don't.
You just don't like him, man. You just don't like him. Like,
and you said Kendrick Perkins.
That sounds like
I would bring Kendrick Perkins on there too, because he was a teammate with LeBron and he faced LeBron also. So I feel like that would be a great person to have on there.
The guy that KD made cry on television.
So okay,
make him cry on television.
Okay,
again. What's the harm?
So what? Terrell Owens cried on television, but people still put him on TV. People put him on a documentary.
Terrell Owens is a legend.
But he cried on TV to a quarterback that went against him, that didn't even choose his side. And you look at the owner, he ended up getting rid of him because T.O. Ended up not liking Tony Romo anymore. So listen, man. T.O. cried on television.
T.O. is a legend. Is Kendrick Perkins a legend?
I mean, it depends
on how you guy who averaged 3 points his whole career.
Depends on how you look. It depends on how you look at it.
I know who's a legend is Lamar, bro.
Lamar.
Get out of here. We talking about football. We talking about basketball. Get out of here, man.
Listen. Anyway. It depends on how you look at a legend. Like, what's your terminology of a legend? how do you define a legend?
Somebody with stats. Somebody who averages more than 3 points a game. That's definitely not a legend. Just because he has a ring with 08 doesn't mean nothing, bro.
Okay, so
A-Ring? Oh, yeah, not a legend.
He got a ring in 08. He didn't even do nothing. He barely played.
What you mean? He was a starter. What are you talking about?
Perkins has 3 points.
He was a quality starter who could play defense. He could rebound a little, and he could run the floor a little bit.
What was his stats?
A little bit.
I don't know.
He's a career
His role,
forward, bro. Get out of here.
His role is the same as your guy's role on my part. He did the exact same thing that your guy did on my part.
Guess what? I get rebounds, I get blocks.
That's what he did. Your guy did the same thing.
And he lost to Kobe.
And he was a tough guy. He made people, scared of him. He was an intimidator. He had the intimidator badge on gold.
Gold.
I'm not lying. Like, that's who he was.
A little bit, but his intimidator badge on gold.
Like, no, he's not a legend. That's not enough for me to say.
Listen, all right, you don't have to be a legend, but I would put him in the documentary because he faced him.
My kids
if they're gonna put Bill Wellington on the Last Dance documentary, you can't tell me you're not gonna be able to put Kendrick Perkins on the LeBron James documentary. Come on now,
bro. Put Stephen Curry in.
Okay, we can put him in there. We can put
Draymond to substitute for Perkins.
They put Justin Timberlake on the Last Dance documentary. Like, really?
That's because many NBA players wasn't messing with Michael. Okay.
Like, come on now, man. Like, you can't put Kendrick Perkins on a LeBron James documentary, really? No. Like, come on now. No. You just don't like him, bro. Like, just stop it right there. There's just this hate that you have for Paul Pierce and Kendrick Perkins. Yeah, it's just some hate.
You're saying hate. You're funny. I said I don't like them because they don't really say like. No,
bro. They be giving you some insight. So they're a walking contradiction, right? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, but there's a lot of players that are like that. They're walking contradictions, but they're entertaining at the end of the day, and they'll give you good insight. Okay, all right, Paul Pierce and Kendrick Perkins, they may say some crazy stuff, but they also give you good insight. Like when like I just mentioned like 5-10 minutes ago, Paul Pierce talking about the 08, 09, 010 Celtics, and how they didn't fear LeBron and how they looked at LeBron as not a like a threat. And then they looked at him and when he went to Miami and how he became a different player overall. So that's good insight. I want to hear more about that. Elaborate more on it.
All right, man.
Yeah, you just don't like him, man. There's something up about you and Paul Pierce. I like Paul Pierce.
It's something about you we don't know about.
I like Paul Pierce. I like entertainment. I don't like it to be one-sided. I like to have, both sides get different stories, get different viewpoints of everything, because that way it just makes the story more interesting and not like Michael Jordan's story where it's pretty much just Michael Jordan telling, his side of everything.
He's great. I mean, they didn't even get Isaiah Thomas on there.
Exactly. And he told his story. I got to give it to you, but they made him look bad. I ain't going to hold you. He looked really bad in the documentary.
Bro. Man.
They might do the same thing to Paul Pierce if he was on a documentary.
Paul Pierce was not an enemy of LeBron. Come on now.
Are you kidding me? All right,
Paul Pierce.
You got to be joking.
Bro. You know who was? That team was. That team was the problem. LeBron scored 2K on Paul Pierce, bro. Come on now. Chill out.
You act like Paul Pierce didn't drop 42 on LeBron James'
Paul
head.
Pierce is a good player. Don't get me wrong.
A good player.
He was a great player. He was a star. He was a star.
Okay.
But he wasn't LeBron James level.
Okay, but I'm just saying he dropped 42 on him.
It's not like he was Steph Curry. It's not like he was KD.
Okay, that's true. But hey, he was like that, and the way you signing, you're not giving him his props.
What props do you get, man? You had 4 All-Stars on your team. You had 4 superstars. You had 4 stars on your team, and you managed to only win 1 championship.
I went from all-stars to superstars.
That's
to
because
stars,
that's because one year KG went down. We gotta put that in context. And the other year
to step up then. He's supposedly that star player, right?
But you gotta look at it at this though. At the time, those guys, they weren't, they were about like 31, 32 years old. They were past their prime. And then also, you got to look at it like this: who did they go up against? They went up against the Bean. They went up against the late great Kobe Bean Bryant. What you gonna do there? You feel me? It's gonna be kind of hard.
Who did Kobe have on his team?
Yeah, Gasol. He had Lamar Odom. He had Ron Artest.
Lamar Odom,
Derek Fisher. Yeah. No. I agree. The Lakers didn't have a better squad.
Better team. They had the better
Celtics had a better team. But listen, at the end of the day, that's what happens when you go up against a GOAT like Kobe Bryant.
No. We're not chasing the narrative here. They will
happen.
They will damn near fail this game. I will say they will fail this game.
He took the Lakers to 7 games. I mean, hey, it's pretty good.
You mean Kobe took them to 7 games practically by himself? You know what? I'll give you this all. Lamar Odom, really?
I mean, he was a good role player. He was a good role player.
Is he better than KG?
No, he's not better than KG.
No.
I'm not arguing with you about what team is better because the Celtics had a better squad.
They are a failed experiment.
A failed experiment. Or maybe they were just they were just too old.
Oh, too old.
Yeah, they were just too
old.
So
you don't think they failed? So you don't think they didn't reach their potential?
I think they were just too old.
I think they should at least win 2 championships. At the very least.
They would have if KG didn't go down in 2009.
You still all right.
And I'm a Lakers fan, and I'll admit that right now that the Celtics would have beat us in 2009.
Okay, what about the year before?
You mean 2008? Oh, you talking about 2009?
Yeah.
When the White, we beat them in 5.
I was talking about when Orlando beat them. I mean, you still got.
But KG wasn't there. He went down. Remember in the playoffs.
But I mean, they still got your guy, Kendrick Perkins.
Like I said before, Kendrick Perkins he's not a go-to option. He's like your guy in my part. He gets rebounds, he blocks shots, he's an intimidator.
My guy
go-to option for the documentary
my
though.
My guy can carry a team from time.
Your guy cannot carry the team, bro.
He carries the team from time. So
Stop.
I was carrying you on twos. What are you talking about? I had 14 points.
I was carrying me on twos.
I was carrying you on twos.
Who was dropping the dimes to you? The only time you
carrying you. I was carrying you, bro.
That's big cap. First of all, a point guard was guarding you.
I put you on my back, son. What are you talking about? I had 14 points, 10 rebounds. Come on.
Because a point guard was guarding you.
Oh yeah, for those of y'all lost, we're talking about 2K20.
Yeah, we're talking about 2K20, and his guy is not very good. I'm not gonna hold you. He can block shots and rebound sometimes, but his guy is very slow.
My guy is Wilt Chamberlain. You feel me? He's Wilt Chamberlain. Come on now.
More like a washed up Bill Russell. He's a washed up Bill Russell.
Hey, but we beat Bill Russell, did we not? I played Bill
against the computer. Against the computer.
Hey, he was a 99 overall.
Against the computer.
He's a 99 overall. I'm an 88.
So what? It's computer. It's computer. So what? But anywho, let's get back to the main topic, which was the NBA bubble. The NBA bubble. I just can't wait for the games to start, man, because I'm gonna be watching all of them when it comes back in July 30th. I don't care what.
Granted, as long as every episode I can, every game I can.
Yeah, as long as the contenders that I know that it will end up being like the conference finals and semifinals, as long as they're straight, as long as their players are playing, hey, I don't care about these other players. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Victor Oladipo decided that I'm going to, stay and sit out I was like, all right, well, Indiana wasn't going anywhere, so that's not really a big deal to me. But if it was like Lou Williams that sat out, all right, now it's a big problem.
Is it he like on the fringe?
No, the coach said that he's gonna play.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, as long as teams like that are playing and all the players are playing, hey, I have no problem.
All right, man. You know what? Say what you want to say, man. Bucks aren't making the finals, though.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. That's a fizzy fact.
So who's gonna make the finals? The Washington Wizards?
No, not them either.
Hey, you talking all this trash, Aaron? Hey, you better hope the Lakers make the finals.
We're making the finals, bro.
You talking too tough for your team to have a losing record against the Clippers.
If the Bucks get out, I'm betting against you, Aaron. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, if the Lakers lose, man. If the Lakers lose, man.
If they lose, which is not gonna happen.
Wait. You know what? Let's be real here. Are the Bucks really gonna beat the Lakers with J.R. Smith and LeBron?
No, they're not. They're not gonna beat the Lakers.
Exactly.
This dude said J.R. Smith. I'm talking about if they even make the finals. Will they even make the finals?
I believe so.
Like, bro, bro, will they really make the finals against a healthy Paul George, healthy Kawhi Leonard?
Talking about the Lakers?
So that's one player each team, dog.
Dog. Shut
yes, the Lakers are going to make the finals, even if the Clippers are full strength, because we'll be full strength as well, and we'll have AD, LeBron, J.R. Smith, Kyle Kuzma, Dion Waiters. I forgot. Oh, Markieff Morris. Yeah. So what's good? Alex Caruso.
I bet $20 Lakers gonna make the playoffs, man.
You said they're not gonna. You're not gonna what?
I bet you $20 they'll not make the playoffs. I mean, they won't make the finals.
I'll bet against.
I'm about to say. I bet
$20 they won't make the finals, man.
Hey, we're putting the pool up July 30th in the group chat, dog.
I'm gonna hold off on that bet. I don't know. I'm gonna hold off.
What you mean? Hey, you suck all this, Matt. Come on now.
Because I don't know how Corona. I don't know what the whole Corona thing is going on. So it's kind of it's kind of like miscellaneous. It's like it's like a lot of question marks going in with the whole Corona thing. Like, what if LeBron catches Corona? What if AD catches Corona? You know what I mean?
So you're saying there's a high percentage that they won't make the finals?
No, I'm saying it's a lot of things.
All right, Aaron. You know what? For every player that gets Corona, we drop the bet down $1. How about
No, that doesn't.
So that means there's $19 since Avery Bradley isn't playing.
If it was like a regular, ordinary year, all right, I'll take that bet. But
what you scared for?
Virus and stuff, I don't know. Because LeBron might catch it, AD might catch it, J.R. Smith might catch it.
But you said they're in quarantine though.
If LeBron catches it, then
but you're gonna be sitting in quarantine for 14 days.
Hey, Nate, hey, chat, hey, y'all see how he's backpedaling?
How am I backpedaling?
He's backpedaling. What you mean? Bro, Nate, you see how he's backpedaling?
I can pick my team to win it, but also
we're coming up on 1:30 with your backpedaling.
I can be cautiously optimistic.
He's backpedaling.
How am I backpedaling?
You backpedaling.
I'm picking them to win. I believe they're gonna win.
As soon as I put money in it, he's talking about somewhere. We got this Rona. We got the Corona. I don't know if they're gonna make it.
No, I'm just saying. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm thinking that everybody's gonna be fine. I'm thinking that the Corona's not gonna hit us.
So let's just do what they said.
I don't know. That's just me. So if LeBron catches the coronavirus, we're just gonna drop $1.
$5 for LeBron.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
I said $10.
That's some BS. No, sir.
What you mean that's some BS? You still got AD.
No, sir.
You still got AD. AD's the best
Come
player.
back to me next year with this bet. Then I'll bet you.
See, you scared, man. You know y'all not gonna make the finals.
I'm
We
cautiously
don't know who's going to
optimistic.
be on that team and who
I
won't be on
believe-
You know
that
y'all
team
not
in
gonna
the
make the
year.
finals.
I believe we will win the championship, but I'm not going to bet it because I don't know what's going to happen with this corona.
Because you know you're not gonna win that bet.
I don't know. I don't know exactly. I feel like we're going to win it, but this corona
You
is
feel like
crazy.
it? Do
Say
you know?
this corona one more time, Aaron.
See, you see him backpedaling, Nate.
I see it with
You see him
both of my two
backpedaling,
eyes.
Nate?
I
You know
see
what,
it
you
with
guys-
my eyes and I hear it with my
Listen,
ears.
why am I talking to a Bulls fan and a Wizards fan? Like, why am I talking to you guys? You guys don't even know what winning is all about. You never tasted a championship before.
Yo, you watch 10.
You
You watch
only-
10. Bro, you spent 10 hours watching Michael Jordan, and you telling us something we don't know about winning. Get out of here.
No, because you never
Get
seen
out
it
of here. You
live.
watched 10
You've
hours.
never seen your team
He
win
watched 10
before.
hours.
You've never
He
seen your
watched 10
team win
hours.
before.
You
Never seen your
watched
team
10
win
hours.
before
Bro.
live.
You watched 10 hours. You watched a 10-hour documentary on my team. Think about that.
You never experienced.
Think
You
about
never
watched 10
experienced
10
winning
hours of your
before.
life.
You
spent
never
10 hours.
experienced your team winning before.
I've
10
never-
hours of your life to a player who eventually went on the Wizards.
I'm saying.
Come on
I'm
now.
saying
Come on now.
y'all
Get
have
outta
never
here.
experienced
Come
a
on now.
winning team. I've
Come on,
experienced a winning team at
10
least
years ago.
twice.
10
Okay,
years ago.
but hey, that's better than 25 years. That's better than 40
Hey.
years.
But guess what? Who has a 10-hour documentary about their team?
So
Dang.
you weren't even
I
alive.
see a 10-hour
You weren't even
documentary.
alive. You weren't
But
even
guess what?
alive when they won the championships.
I was alive for the interview. I was alive for the 10-hour documentary that you watched.
So what? But you never
watched
seen
10
your team.
Bro,
You
you
never
spent 10
seen your
hours
team
of your
win a
life.
championship.
You
You
spent
never
10
seen
hours
it.
of your life
Your
watching my
glory
team.
year, your
Think
glory
about
years
that.
was Derrick Rose. That was your glory years.
Bro, your glory
Nate's
years
glory
10 years
years-
ago. Shut up.
Nate's glory years with John Wall and Bradley Beal, and that was like 2016.
Bro,
Those were his
bro.
glory years.
When was the last
My
time y'all
glory
made the
years-
playoffs?
My glory years was Kobe Bryant, Gasol, and Lamar Odom and Ron Artest winning that championship against the Celtics in 2010.
So
And
how
that
you
was
talking
only 10
trash
years
about
That's
ago.
Nate?
1 year. That's
Time
one
out.
time.
How you
1
talking
year.
trash about Nate? You 10 years and he like 3 years. He's 4 years removed. You 10 years removed.
See, this is how I know you guys are used to losing. Because y'all talking about playoffs. I'm talking about winning a championship. See,
Nationals fan.
there's levels to this.
Bro, as soon as I put money on the line, he backpedaled. Did he not backpedal as soon as I put money on the line?
Because it's a
He's
weird year. I'm not
wrong,
about to bet my money on this year. It's weird, man.
If you believe in your team, you will bet money regardless. Come on now.
No,
Hold.
because you can't control a virus.
That's
You
why I
can't-
said, bro, depending on the severity of the player, we'll knock money off. Did we not say that, Nate?
No,
I said that.
no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we said that. We
Sir,
said
I'm
for
not
LeBron
doing
James,
it.
we knocked $10 off. You still got AD. You
When
still got
the
Marcus
virus-
Moore. You still
I'm
got
not-
Marquise Morris. You know
I'm
who
not
you
doing
said?
it.
You still got what? The other guy you said KCP, right? You
Oh,
still
yeah.
got
I
JR.
didn't even say KCP, but yeah, KCP. We got KCP.
Who did you say? You
I
still got
said
the guy.
Dion Waiters. I said Dion
still-
Waiters, Kyle Kuzma.
Wow.
Obviously, LeBron, AD, JR,
See-
KCP.
So you still got all those players. I don't understand why you won it.
Because
And
I don't know.
our best player. Easily.
Because I don't know. They might catch the virus. LeBron might catch the virus. AD might catch the virus. And there goes our title hopes.
Bro.
I'm not betting money. Sorry. You can try all you want. I'm not doing it.
He's back better.
I'm not doing it.
He don't believe in his team. He back
I'm not
better.
doing it.
doesn't have faith in his own team.
I'm cautiously optimistic. I believe they'll win the championship, but I'm not putting money on it.
A real fan doesn't put caution into play. A real fan
And
just
that's
has
what I'm
faith. You're not a
saying.
real fan.
Bro, he's scared. He's scared, Nate. You see how
Yeah.
scared he is. He back.
He don't be balling with us.
Man, he backpedal, man.
Crazy.
All right, y'all can say whatever you want, but guess what? My team has 16 championships. We actually won in the 2000s 5 times, actually. Y'all never seen it.
You was a baby, bro. What are you talking about? Most of the time, you was.
Last
bro,
time
you
I
was
saw
still
them win the
elementary
You
championship.
school.
didn't know what a Laker was.
Last
Bro,
time I
bro.
saw it, I was 10 years old, so I can
You was in
remember
elementary
winning the
school.
championship. So what?
Like, you was in Virginia. What are you talking about?
So what? At least witnessed them winning the championship. At least I witnessed them win against Orlando and against Boston. While you guys never witnessed that before. You guys just read it in the history books.
Anything. You had a thumb in your mouth while that was happening, dog.
No,
at the end of the day,
the TV probably just happened to be on.
At the end of the day, he sat here and devoted 10 years of his life to my team. So it's like
10 years of my life to my team.
He devoted 10 hours of his life to my team. So
it's so wild.
It's crazy, man. I haven't seen him spend 10 hours. Have you even spent like 5 hours watching your team?
5 hours watching ESPN is what you're saying? Yeah,
I'm talking about the Lakers on Laker-based stuff. 10 hours. Have you even spent 2 hours watching Laker-based stuff?
Or you been watching them win?
You talking about a day? Or you talking about overall? Because
I'm talking about in a day, man. I'm talking about both overall and in a day.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, bro, you're only a Laker fan because of Kobe Bryant at the end of the day. Let's not get disrespectful.
Well, he did get me wanting to play basketball. He did get me wanting to actually watch basketball. So I would say yes, he was a big inspiration. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a Laker fan. I agree. That's for a lot of people, actually. So I'm not the only person that feels that way.
Come on, man. You know what?
You like the Bulls because of Nate Robinson. That's just crazy.
Let's end the podcast here, man. Let's end it here.
All right. If you want to, but at the end of the day, this is the last word. And as my last words, I would like to say that the Lakers are going to win the championship 2020. You already know. And we're the best team in the league. It don't matter if they have Kawhi, Paul George, if they have a prime Lou Williams, a prime, whoever you want. You can have anybody. We're going to win the chip. It does not matter. And my team is all about championships. Y'all teams are all about losing. And that's facts.
You know what? My last words, Kanye 2024, Wizards 2021, and Jay 2028.
You crazy.
Man, I don't even know what to say to this, man. I'm going to see y'all. You know what I'm saying? Stay up.
Stay safe and just
stay safe, man.
All right, man. This is episode 2 of the Lunch Table Podcast, and we are
Thank you all for watching.